David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, the breaking news, the historic blizzard burying the Northeast. Whiteout conditions from Philadelphia to New York City, right up to Boston. Wind gusts topping 80 miles per hour. 5 states reporting more than 2 feet of snow. Multiple states of emergency tonight. Major cities paralyzed. Manhole fires shooting flames into the street. Cars struggling to stay on the road. More than 500,000 customers without power tonight. More than 11,000 flights canceled. And tonight we're now tracking 2 more snowstorms coming later this week. Ginger Z has the forecast and our team all across the Northeast. Also breaking tonight, Americans told to shelter in place. The urgent warning for tourists in Mexico. A cartel boss is killed by Mexican authorities. The cartel's responding, lighting buildings and cars on fire. Back in the U.S. tonight, the armed 21-year-old who got past the security perimeter at Mar-a-Lago in the middle of the night. The man was then shot and killed, allegedly carrying a gun and a gas canister. In his car, sources tonight saying writings involving Jeffrey Epstein. Tonight, there's news in the Nancy Guthrie case, Savannah Guthrie's mother, involving the video from her front door. Sources are now telling ABC News the masked suspect seen in that front door video was at the home before, which could explain the other image without the backpack. So how long before do they believe he was at that home? Aaron Katersky standing by with what he's learned tonight. This evening, Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, in court pleading not guilty to murdering his parents. And tonight, Conan O'Brien breaking his silence about the holiday party he held the night before the Reiner family was found dead. Overseas tonight in the UK, another arrest involving Jeffrey Epstein. First, it was former Prince Andrew, now the former UK ambassador to the US, now under arrest tonight. Back in the US, a massive fire causing a bridge to collapse. We have news on Barry Manilow tonight amid his battle with cancer. And it was their first gold medal since the Miracle on Ice. The U.S. men's hockey team, a hero's welcome tonight. You'll see it. And star player Jack Hughes, on the moment he realized he'd lost his teeth, he sure gave it his all.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight with this historic blizzard, what they call a bomb cyclone that has slammed the Northeast, breaking records, several feet of snow, major cities paralyzed tonight. The system pushing right up the coast from Philadelphia to New York City and right into Boston. At least 5 states tonight with more than 2 feet of snow in some areas, winds gusting up to 84 miles per hour in Montauk, New York, on the tip of Long Island. New York City tonight buried under the worst snowstorm in a decade, blinding snow. People on the street barely able to see right in front of them. Manhole fires breaking out, flames shooting from the street. Times Square turned into a ghost town. And look at this tonight, the view from EarthCam, the camera atop the Statue of Liberty. There were travel bans throughout the Northeast today, and it was dangerous driving for anyone who had to be out there. A driver struggling right here to stay on the road. This is from right outside Boston. Even first responders getting stuck in the snow, an entire team rushing to dig out this ambulance. Heavy snow and damaging winds knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of customers tonight from Virginia right up into the Northeast. More than 250,000 customers without power in Massachusetts alone, many on Cape Cod. More than 11,000 flights canceled through tomorrow. Crews trying to keep the runways clear right here. This is the airport in Philadelphia, but it was extremely difficult to keep up. And with this storm still churning in Boston, I hate to say it, but we're already tracking 2 more storms bringing snow later this week. Ginger Z standing by with the forecast, and ABC's Matt Rivers leads us off from Boston tonight, where it is still coming down.
Tonight, from a blinding whiteout in New York City to more than a foot in Philadelphia and up to 2 feet expected in Boston, it's a record-breaking bomb cyclone blizzard that's far from finished.
I don't know if you can even see me. The wind is brutal. I couldn't even get the car door open to get out to show you the conditions.
Reporters Rondella Richardson and Ted Wayman from ABC Boston station WCVB braving hurricane-force wind gusts and even lightning and thunder along the Massachusetts coast before dawn.
Thunder snow just happened again live. It's a fascinating occurrence. The sky turns into this majestic purple as we have heavy winds and thunder snow happening at this hour.
Outside Boston in Quincy, cars sliding and fishtailing, many needing a push to get going again. Even the power trucks and ambulances got stuck. First responders forced to dig this one out of deep snow with help from Good Samaritans.
Downtown Boston is a ghost town today. Wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour. It's basically snowing sideways. Right now it's 3 p.m. Roughly 300,000 customers statewide without power.
Snow falling at almost unheard of 3 inches an hour in New York City. City officials banning all non-essential motor vehicles for much of the morning.
As of 12:30 p.m., DSNY has distributed over 50 million pounds of salt and plowed over 99.5% of city streets at least once.
New York's firefighters also battling snow and fires. Flames shooting from this manhole near New York's Hudson Yards. The heavy, wet snow toppling trees across the Northeast. More than 300 reported down across New York City are Rhiannon Alley in Greenwich Village.
This heavy wet snow has snapped tree branches, this one blocking this street here in Manhattan, even falling into this car.
Blizzard warnings stretching some 600 miles up and down the I-95 corridor. And Providence, Rhode Island, reporting a record-breaking 32-plus inches of snow, the most in the region so far. Conditions so bad, authorities had to halt plowing operations for a time, and tonight, the snow is still coming.
And David, winds are still strong tonight, which means that blowing snow like this will remain a problem well into tomorrow. It is why the governor is pleading with people to stay at home. David, just because this storm is slowing down does not mean that it's over yet.
Yeah,
David?
This was really incredible. Matt Rivers live in Boston. Our thanks to all of the correspondents up and down the coast, including Matt and Rondella Richardson there in Boston. That was quite something from earlier in the day. Thank you, Matt. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. And Ginger, I know it's still churning and you're tracking 2 more systems later this week.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but that's true, David. And behind me, more than 1.5 feet of snow piled high on the line of vehicles. But we've had double that already in Warwick, Rhode Island, 36.2 inches, one of the highest. And they're still snowing. You still see blizzard warnings there from eastern Connecticut right up through eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island into coastal New Hampshire and Maine. Now, this is all going to come to an end overnight. But of course, there's more snow on the way. It's light. That's the good news. Tuesday night through Wednesday morning, even in New York City, you could see a few flakes flying, but it won't add up to much at all. You have to go west for the 3 to 6 inches. And then on Thursday into Friday, there's the next chance at precipitation. I say precipitation because it's rain snow line. And hey, here's the good news. I'm already gloveless. We are seeing melting. We are above freezing, and we should stay above freezing for highs this week, David.
All right, we'll see you first thing in the morning on GMA. Thank you, Ginger. This massive blizzard grounding flights by the thousands tonight right into tomorrow, and it could take days to get back on track. So here's Gio Benitez on that tonight.
Tonight, that monster blizzard paralyzing travel for millions. More than 11,000 flights canceled through tomorrow.
We're trying desperately to get home to the West Coast.
Almost every flight in and out of New York City and Boston grounded. We're at the top of the TWA hotel right now, looking down at the tarmac here at JFK, and you can't see anything because I can't see anything. It is a total whiteout. Right now, no planes are taking off or landing. At New York's LaGuardia, passengers sleeping on benches. In Philadelphia, the snow burying runways faster than plows could keep up.
My first flight was out of Newark yesterday night, canceled. Rebooked for this morning in Philadelphia, canceled.
The ripple effects being felt nationwide. Kyle Newman stranded in Miami.
I've been trying to get to like Philly or DC, but there's no flights till like Wednesday or Thursday.
And David, it's not smooth sailing just yet. It's going to take a few days to get everything back on track, David.
We can still hear the wind there on your mic at JFK Airport tonight. Gio, thank you. Tonight, Americans in Mexico have been told to shelter in place. A cartel boss killed by Mexican authorities, and now the cartel is responding tonight, lighting buildings and cars on fire. Whit Johnson tonight from the U.S.-Mexico border.
Tonight, Americans in popular tourist spots from Puerto Vallarta to Tijuana urged to shelter in place amid waves of violence after Mexican authorities said they killed a powerful drug cartel boss. At Guadalajara Airport, panicked travelers racing to safety.
They are urging people, do not go outside. Everything is closed. Shelter in place. This is very serious.
Mexican officials say Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, was killed in an operation Sunday that also left nearly 36 other cartel members dead. For the first time, video posted online and verified by ABC News showing part of that operation, followed by a barrage of gunfire and blasts. Overnight, the White House saying the U.S. provided intelligence support to the Mexican government and calling El Mencho one of the top traffickers of fentanyl. The cartel responding with violence, turning beach towns into war zones, setting up hundreds of fiery roadblocks. Multiple businesses and vehicles set ablaze. The airport in Puerto Vallarta suspending all flights for a time, passengers evacuating on the tarmac. Today, some operations returning to normal.
David, the State Department says they've been in contact with hundreds of Americans in Mexico. Despite the widespread damage, the situation appears to be improving, but they're urging U.S. citizens to call their 24-hour hotline if they're unable to leave the country. David?
Quite a scene there in Mexico. Whit Johnson on the border for us with thanks. Tonight we have new reporting here on the armed 21-year-old who got past the security perimeter at Mar-a-Lago in the middle of the night. The man was then shot and killed in his car tonight. Sources telling ABC News writings involving Jeffrey Epstein. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, authorities investigating how a 21-year-old man was able to breach the secure perimeter of President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, allegedly armed with this shotgun and a gas can, and whether that young man, identified as Austin Tucker Martin, may have been motivated by an obsession with the Justice Department's files on sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Police say Martin snuck onto Mar-a-Lago grounds in the dead of night on Sunday around 1:30 a.m., but he was spotted at the north gate and confronted by the Secret Service and a sheriff's deputy.
He put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the two Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat.
Martin died at the scene, and tonight investigators trying to piece together what brought him there. Sources tell us they believe he drove 10 hours to Florida from his home in North Carolina, where his family had reported him missing on Saturday. Police think he may have purchased the gun on the way. His alleged motive for being there is still a mystery, but sources tell us when officers searched Martin's car, they found writings related to the Epstein files. President Trump was not in Florida at the time, instead choosing to spend the weekend back at the White House. David, the FBI is taking the lead in this investigation. The FBI Director Kash Patel was in Italy during the Olympics when the incident happened. This video shows him in the locker room celebrating with the U.S. men's hockey team after they won the gold medal, right there chugging a beer. Patel flew to Italy on the FBI jet, American taxpayers picking up the tab. Patel saying he was, quote, humbled to be invited to the locker room, and the FBI insisting tonight that Patel had official business in Italy. Officials say the trip was long planned and that any personal expenses would be reimbursed. David?
Pierre Thomas in Washington, thank you. There's news tonight in the Nancy Guthrie case, Savannah Guthrie's mother, involving that video from her front door. Sources are now telling ABC News the masked suspect seen at the door was at the home before. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, tonight.
Tonight, sources familiar with the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie tell ABC News the masked man suspected of abducting the 84-year-old grandmother appeared at her front door sometime before the night she was taken. Among the images released by the FBI earlier this month was this one, showing the suspect without a backpack. Sources now tell ABC News that image was captured on Guthrie's Nest camera on a date prior to February 1st, when she was abducted.
If it is the same person, it could indicate that the person was there surveilling the place before the abduction happened. The fact that there was preparation and planning, which makes it more of a sophisticated type of criminal activity than someone just showing up.
One theory, the sources say, is the suspect approached the door the first time, noticed the camera, and was scared off, only to return later when he is seen with a flashlight in his mouth, tampering with the camera and covering the lens with branches. That gap could help explain why investigators are looking for neighborhood camera footage going back to January 1st, a month before the abduction. The sheriff has said he believes Nancy Guthrie was the victim of a targeted kidnapping. He provided no evidence, but just a few months ago, she did appear on the Today Show from Tucson with her daughter Savannah, talking about why she stayed there all these years.
Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle.
Over the weekend, volunteers fanned out to look for any trace of Nancy Guthrie, saying they feel compelled to get out there and help.
We're Tucson people, and we all got to stick together.
Oh, you love seeing that. Volunteers just joining in to try to help the family have some sort of closure here. Aaron Katersky, you were in Tucson for more than 2 weeks. This is significant tonight because we had all seen that video at the front door, but then there was that additional image that was released without the backpack on. And you've learned from your sources tonight that those were two different visits to the home.
David, that image caught our attention almost from the moment it was released. The exact period of time between the image without the backpack and the images with the backpack is not clear, but it does suggest at least the possibility that Nancy Guthrie's abduction may have been planned in advance.
And the second image with the backpack at the door, that is the night they believe she was actually abducted from the home.
The early morning hours of Sunday, February 1st, yes.
Right. We do remain hopeful here for Savannah and her family. Thank you, Aaron, for all of your reporting. To other news tonight in Los Angeles, Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, in court pleading not guilty to murdering his parents, and Conan O'Brien now breaking his silence about his holiday party he held the night before. Here's Trevor Ault.
Tonight we're seeing Nick Reiner on camera for the first time since he was charged with the murders of his parents. Iconic director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. Nick Reiner today appearing in a Los Angeles courtroom pleading not guilty.
A plea of not guilty is entered on behalf of Mr. Reiner.
With his recently appointed public defender, Reiner sat calmly behind a glass partition. Reiner has a well-known history of mental health and substance abuse problems. The night before his parents were found stabbed to death in their L.A. home, sources say Nick and his father got into an argument at Conan O'Brien's holiday party where Nick was described as acting strangely. O'Brien is now breaking his silence in an interview with The New Yorker.
To have that experience of saying goodnight to somebody and having them leave and then find out the next day that they're gone, I think I was in shock for quite a while afterwards.
David, Nick Reiner could still change his plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. He's due back in court in April. David.
All right, Trevor Ault from Los Angeles. Trevor, thank you. Tonight to the economy here and the stock market tumbling to start the week. The Dow losing 821 points, closing at 48,804. Tonight, economists say the drop in part driven by President Trump's decision to raise global tariffs after the Supreme Court struck down much of his tariff policy and growing fears about AI's impact on multiple industries in this country. We should mention the president will no doubt address his tariff policy, the economy, immigration, ICE, foreign policy in his State of the Union address tomorrow night. I'll be in Washington with our powerhouse political team. ABC News, of course, with live coverage of the president begins tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. When we come back here tonight, new video of this fire, the massive blaze causing a bridge to come down. We'll have more on this in a moment. Also news on Barry Manilow tonight amid his battle with cancer. And as you know, their first gold medal since the miracle on ice, the U.S. men's hockey team, a hero's welcome tonight. And star player Jack Hughes, in the moment he realized he lost his teeth. You can't say he didn't give it his all. We'll be right back. Well, tonight, after the arrest of former Prince Andrew, now the former UK ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson, has been arrested for possible misconduct in public office. Authorities say emails uncovered in the Jeffrey Epstein file suggest he may have leaked confidential government documents to Epstein. Back in the U.S. tonight, massive flames erupting, causing an historic bridge to come down in Lincoln, Nebraska. A major part of the bridge crashing to the ground there, primarily used for freight trains. No word on a cause tonight. When we come back here, news on Barry Manilow this evening and the men's hockey team, the heroes welcome tonight, and you'll see it right here. To the Index, Barry Manilow postponing additional concerts now as he recovers from lung cancer surgery. Rescheduling 13 concerts, Manilow says tonight that his doctors have told him he's not ready to do a 90-minute show. His lungs, quote, aren't ready yet. Get well soon. When we come back here tonight, the U.S. men's hockey team, it was quite a welcome home today, and you'll see it.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir. Sponsored by Nervive Nerve Relief. Feel alive with Nervive.
Tonight, a hero's welcome for the U.S. men's hockey team. Here's Maggie Rulli.
USA! Tonight, after that incredible nail-biting finish at the Olympics, the gold medal winners are back home on American soil. Team USA men's hockey in a thrilling overtime win, defeating rivals Canada 2-1. Jack Hughes scoring the golden goal, a toothless and bloodied smile after a stick to the face in the third period.
I was just disappointed I lost my teeth, but it is what it is now. I'm going to fix these things. I want my good smile back.
Zach Orinsky feeding Hughes that game winner. For the games, he told us he was playing for gold.
It's been a dream come true since I was a little kid.
It's the first gold medal for Team USA men's hockey since 1980. 46 years to the day of the famous Miracle on Ice, when the underdog U.S. upset the Soviet Union. Assistant Captain Charlie McAvoy telling us this Olympics is for his family, and his 1-year-old son Reese would be there in the stands.
I know it's one that he won't remember, but we'll have the pictures for a lifetime.
Yeah. Hopefully a photo with a medal around his neck. Maybe.
That's what we're dreaming of, yes, absolutely.
After the game, Charlie posting that dream come true.
We love it. Thanks, Maggie. And Jack says he wants his smile back, but he does have the gold, and I'm sure he'll get the smile too. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America. Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir the #1 newscast in America.